Hello! So, let's start with the second part. Hopefully now the internet is more stable and we can develop our Magento module. So, last step before I was offline, we was creating this nice pickup store module. If you don't see it, please take the first stream from today and take a look on it. Also, I was writing a tutorial on my blog. Check it out. Also, all code what we're writing here is published at GitHub. You can get access at my last Riddick Dev organization. I have there a workshop repository. Yeah, it's structured here. You find a demo server written in JavaScript. I use this to describing what is GraphQL and writing down a basic concept of how you can writing a GraphQL server in JavaScript. And also I have here our Magento module, and in the branch basic GraphQL module you also find all code what was written for the basic GraphQL module. And here you find also a couple of articles if you need any help, if you worried about some topics and some topics don't working for you. Ping me at Twitter, Slack, whatever. Write me a mail, you find it on the blog, and I'm really happy to help you. So this is about the intro. So we need to build our filter now. So for that reason, let's take a look on the catalog GraphQL, because they're using already some filter, and maybe this was changed. I already getting some feedback that my tutorial maybe doesn't work well on the blog post, and for that reason take a look on it, or we take a look on it now. So okay, we having this here, and we have a attribute instance. Okay, we have some resolver here. Okay, looks almost same as I was writing for my blog post. Okay, let's do it. So okay, we have here our repository path set up. Need to find where we are in my tutorial. So okay, yeah, I found it. So we need this field attribute instance pickup from store, and also need this namespace. And now we need to creating this file in our model resolver filter argument. Create a new PHP class there. So okay, we already getting this there. and we having some code here. I copy this from my tutorial. So import config import. Oh, let's take a look on it. So, and we're mapping this class. We need to map our filter fields to the implementation. And if we don't using this, our filter will not work. So, why I have this in the tutorial? Okay. No, we don't need it currently. So, and if we take a look on the implementation here, let's split it a little bit. We see we have entity attributes and say give us config element pickup store. I think maybe we need to change it because yeah, we're using this. This is okay. Okay, let's try it out. If it works or not, we see. So what we need in our query a new parameter, and usually we are using something like a filter, double point, and pickup stores filter input. So I already creating, I will allow to filter for ID, name, street number, postcode, city, longitude, and we're needing some description there. So next step is we need to go to bin Magento cache flush. Okay. Bin Magento cache flush. This will not work. We need a double point. So usually I also doing a bin Magento call later, because if you have multiple requests on the same Magento instance, he tries to build the cache multiple times by the same time, and this ends to you getting a slow response there. And for that reason, usually I doing this over a bin Magento command to getting a faster response there. Okay, my ITR extension doesn't want to start. I don't know why. Okay, let's take it the ITR from the PC. This extension is usually pretty stable, but sometimes in the browser it doesn't start, and sometimes you don't have any clue why. So okay, we got an exception. Pickup store filter input doesn't found. Okay, I know what this means and what we forget, because we need here in our resolver a slightly different search criteria, because we built here pickup stores args, and yeah, is not found. Find them. Okay, yeah, because I was renaming this to a slightly different name. Also this. Okay, call to undefined method build. Let's take a look. Okay. Switch criteria build. Okay. So, okay, we need this one. I don't know if somebody listening to me or somebody seeing me coding here and failing, but it's okay. I'm pretty not sure what we need to do this because 2.4 is really new for me, and I was writing this tutorial for 2.3, but I need to get this thing running for 2.4 as well. And for that reason, I tried to do it. Okay. Pick up store interceptor. Okay, usually if you have this error, it's deleting the generate folder. Bin Magento generates the folder again, and then okay, attribute not found in the attribute visibility list. Interesting. So where this error happens, find in path. Okay. Okay, first of all, I filter for longitude. Maybe we should filter for name. Brick. Okay, attribute not found in the visibility list. Same error again. Okay. So let's debug. Because here we have our entity attributes, and this thing is using fields, and also I doing almost the same, but maybe the problem is this, because we need something like this: feed get name. Magento. Hello. Okay. Because this thing was changed from 2.3 to 2.4 develop, and maybe we need something like this to get this thing running. So we having now, okay, let's try it again. Okay, still it doesn't work. Okay, I think we need to debug it. Yay! I don't like it so much, but let's see if we find out. Valid SR, by the way, is our internal tech division tool. What we're using, it's open source, but I think it will not really work. It's based on Ansible, and we're using Linux machines at tech division, and a really powerful Linux machines, and I really like it. So okay, now we need in the pub index accept. Let's see. So we get an argument equals brick. And we get some attributes here: longitude, latitude, name, postcode, street, and our argument is name. Okay, I think name Okay, it looks like our filter works, but the syntax was changed for filter. Okay, interesting. Let's open the dev docs. Dev docs. Developer docs. Yeah, and we need GraphQL overview and say queries. Category query. Catalog. What is it? Pick up category list query. So, and they say in. Okay, but filter. Pick up. Let's open a new window. Okay. So, what is a filter import type? A filter import type, name match. Okay, try something with this. Brick. Okay, still. It fails. But by the like, not by the attribute, not itself. It fails because of the name. Interesting. Okay. Let's build a category list filter. and see if we have the same problem there. Maybe we found a core issue, but I'm pretty sure it should be working. But filters are a thing in GraphQL. Okay. Interesting. Okay, this works. So why our thing doesn't work? We have filters, name, match, it, name like brick. Okay, okay. Let's take a look on this, what it says, but I think it would be false. Because oh, I got it. Interesting. Okay, our array doesn't contain the name, but why? Let's take a look. We say here name, and then we make an array key from this, but we need to return the feed here. Ah, I got it. Okay, this was changed. So arguments, still name, and our attributes now contains name. There we are. Okay, but we don't find any item. But yeah. let's do some test read 1 or 2. Okay, but we don't get entities back because of, because I am searching for name, not for street. Let's stop the listening on this. And we fixed this. So, what we learned, what was changed. In my tutorial here, on my blog, in version 3, we had array keys here. You need a numeric field and having only name here, and it was totally fine. But since version 4, we need a different logic. We need fields and return all fields. There was an API change on how filter logic works internally, and this thing here goes over every field what we defining in our schema of our type here, and putting this as a possible filter argument in our schema. We see this if we go here and say ID, postcode, street, etc. And we can also shift enter. Also, we see this if we go to the docs and search for pickup store. We come into our documentation and see what is our filter input, and we see this fields we have here for filtering. So, okay, cool. Now we can doing some building a GraphQL mutation together if you want, if you're interested, if you don't still too sleepy or something like that. So, okay, maybe we should start with the schema, and then let's see where we comes. So we need, I really like to have my JavaScript schema here, because some schema things are completely the same in Magento and Apollo, but some things are totally different. So what we need a new type, and we say we need a type from mutation. So, and we need a function there, pickup store, and say create. So what we need input there. So input, and returning our output here. pickup store output. So, and also we need to define a resolver class like this, and a doc. So okay, and a pickup store input is currently not defined. So then we need a new input. So what we want to have, I think this is enough, because ID I want to don't allow to change from outside in my code, and so also we need a different so also we need a different class here. Create. I usually split this for read and write responsibility, and maybe we should also rename pickup store to query, or we should using mutate here as parameter. So what we need implements resolver interface, and here we don't need a query, we need okay, we use a query here. Interesting. So okay, so now we need to register different validators on input, but I think from my point of view we can using this and import. So create pickup stores. I have here a pickup store service. Let's create a class. Namespace should be model. And we have here execute function method. Oh, that don't works. Okay, as usual. So public function execute. So create pickup stores. Okay. Gets a data array and returns a store. A store interface. The store interface in this case is our pickup store interface, not the Magento core store interface. So, and we need some logic here. For that reason, let's create a test here. So, and doing some test room approach here. Directory new class, service test, extend test case, and we need PHP unit test case. So we need a protected function setup here. And as usual, I open already written test because then you slightly see how it's written, because all the time I forget the structure of it. I'm writing so many tests, but it's good to have a example here. So I think we need, first of all, we need our service class. So let's create an instance of it. So, and say add property and define it. So I think first of all we need some validation here. To doing this, I close all. So create pickup store, delegates to the service class, and the service class creates the element. But if something happens here, we say store pickup store is equals this, and wrapping this with a try catch. Because then we don't need to take care about it. Needs to be a GraphQL exception. If some exception happens here, no, let's say we throw a new GraphQL exception with message. This makes error analysis later a little bit harder, but from my point of view, currently this is totally okay. Because if our implementation will return also, I think we need to return this and say pickup stores. Also, I think we can using this without a parameter, because we already catch it up if somebody breaks here. So cool. So private function let's do some validate data and say array data. So this will return void, and throws localized exception. So we will call this thing first. I think maybe a validate data is not good in this case. I think from my point of view, a chain makes more sense here, and we having already a chain here. So now we can using some cool pattern in Magento. We have a chain, a page already here. So let's create a new directory. We have a query validators, and we need to moving this one to the query validators, and then we can reusing our chain and using virtual types to inject our properties and validators in there. So we have a query validator now. I think we also need, we need to change the namespace as well. Copy reference in DI and go here, replace it. So, and now we cannot using this anymore. We need now virtual type. Virtual types are types of classes and get generated by Magento later. And this is really cool pattern. I really like it. I need to search a example, and I really use them often if I can. So let's go in Magento here and find a path and the syntax is almost the same as we using already here. We have a name, of something and injecting already something in there. But I think from my point of view we need also some naming, a renaming, find and path. Well, missed. Sorry. Detail types. Let's open the dev docs. Yeah, this is the name and this is the type. So and this is our type here. So and we're using this and renaming it to query validator chain. And our implementation from our resolver, this is maybe I should also moving this in also two directories. Let's do it. It's query. Mutation should be okay. Let's see if I'm okay. So, and now I can put the query here. Also need to add query here. Copy reference I need here. So, and now we need a type name. So, and we need argument. So, and our pickup stores getting here a validator chain in it. So now we can using this parameter name validator chain to inject our virtual type. So, and we need here XSI type object. And using the virtual type is this here. You can also prefix it as with something like, hey, I want to use argument. He tells me something is wrong with my implementation, but I'm pretty sure it should be fine. I don't know what happens with him, but I will check it. It's okay. Let's copy it. Okay. I don't know what happens. So, and this is a virtual type now, and we can doing this also for our mutation type, and now we can using the same chain, and this is really cool later because we can apply multiple things there and store let's say store, it's okay. Maybe we use pickup store or something like this. Pickup store args. So refactor. A long time ago, there was a Magento. Okay, I don't using this feature. Sometimes it works well, sometimes it's like, I don't know. Some person goes on, hey, we should be slow. So, now we need also implementing this validator interface, because we're getting arcs there, and we need also using a sub method here. So now we need chain query, chain refactor rename. Chain mutation, and we need here some different types. So for that reason, we rename it, and also need not query. We need. Let's copy it to don't make a mistake. We need this here. So, okay. So now we have pickup store, arcs, and in our implementation, now we can also moving this thing a little bit up. So copy reference. I need to remember the short keys all the time. So, and we need to change here our resolvers, or maybe only adding. I only adding this mutation, and here we need adding query. So close all. So create pickup stores. Okay, simplify. Okay. So now we need here our validator chain, and let's say we need the dollar there equals empty array. So and our validator chain is not array, is a chain interface. Yeah, there we are. So update the doc block. So okay, I need to take a look on it, what I have history, because I already having something in it here. This can I moving now in my validator mutation pickup store arcs as the first thing here. And also I think we don't need this here, because we will not throw an exception later in the server itself, and doing this already before we doing this. And also we don't need a validator here. So then we already validating over chain in our GraphQL resolver, and this should be enough to getting things done. So then I think pickup store service, maybe we don't need a test for this currently. Maybe it makes sense to create a test for the mutation resolver, and also I need to moving page test in a new folder, because I was renaming and moving this file already, and this is why maybe restructuring is a little bit more work than you think before you start restructuring your folder, but you're getting a much more better readability later. Let's see if our test works. Oh, it doesn't work because he doesn't find our validator. Okay, we have 2 past tests. Nice. I think testing we can do. Do you want to see testing from development for my chain resolver, or do you want to see more mutation things here? I don't know what you want to see. Maybe you can put a comment here. So we have here return pickup stores. Okay. And our output is items then. We need to set items here. And this is very important. Okay. So now we need to do our creation process. So first of all, I think we need a private function create store. So, and we getting some array data already in, and this will definitely return us a store interface. So, and this, what we need here, we need first of all a public function construct, and say we store store interface we need a store interface factory to create a new object of a store. Initialize, so, and call create with our data. Oh no, okay, we also need a data helper object. Let's do it. Store. And removing the name interface here. Oh, it makes sense. Whatever I was writing in the tutorial here. Data object helper. Okay, let's copy the full constructor. And so store repository interface. So, and we need a duplication of this. So now we can fill our store data, our store with data, and returning a store interface. So, and now we only need to call this. Maybe I don't need a private function here. It's doing this here in the execute function, because I think this class will not have any. Yeah, it's only having then a safe store. And a return of store. Because the validation we already moved out. And yeah. Also, I think from my point of view we should catch all exceptions here. And doing the same pattern as we did as before, because if we have a strange error or some low-level exception, maybe our GraphQL endpoint can handle it, and for that reason catch it and throw with the specific type exception is much better than don't catch it. Yeah, maybe it's also better to moving this thing out in our pickup store here, because then we don't need to think about, hey, if we're in a GraphQL context and maybe we will using this somewhere else, and maybe this is the correct answer here. And don't catch it here, or don't catch here, and also adding all exceptions what we can get here. I could not save as omitted one. Okay, but I don't think so. It will be much more but yeah, we don't see it by documentation. So, cool. Let's clean the cache. If I... oh, this was wrong. So... maybe a bin Magento setup is also helpful in our current case, because then we see if we forgot somewhere changing namespaces in the IXML or something like that, because we're doing a lot of refactoring and usually you forget one place, and a bin setup helps you to find these errors. Also maybe let's do a di setup di compile. I have it disabled. It's debug. Oh, he doesn't like it. Oh, I made a mistake in its setup. And then we need to delete the generated folder. But this thing helps to detect errors already so early in the stage. Let's see. Maybe I should disabling this Xdebug, then we're getting a much faster speed here. But usually it's quite fast. I don't know what happens. Maybe really Xdebug is somewhere in Blade. And okay, I will Xdebug off. Is somebody in the stream? This is the main question here. Or somebody is showing me, say hello, and I'm happy to hear you or see you. So while it's generating, maybe we try it, because it should also work without the compiled code version. But it will be so slow. Okay. I don't know why it's so slow. Interesting. But I don't have so much running on my PC. Okay. Okay, I was inheriting some docs, but this was only failing in production build, not on the local build. But usually also you find so much errors with this command really early in the state. And before I committing my code, I always run a bin setup di compile locally, and running also bin Magento static tests on my generated folder. Then you don't forget about some dependencies, and there are really good documentation about static tests. So okay, we get the same error again. Okay, maybe we don't care about it currently, and if we get an error we need to debug it again. I don't like so much troubleshooting live, but yeah, sometimes it's like also helpful to understand what I doing if I get an error. And maybe if you have any questions, we can go over the code. I try to answer them. It's so slow because I deleted the generated folder, because some classes was generated by setup di compile, but some classes not. So now we have pickup store not found in document. We get this error. We know it should be somewhere here, and maybe this was already the problem. So let's clean the cache and let's see if it works now. If not, then we need to take a look on it. And so now we get some filter input type. But this doesn't make so much sense currently to me, Lars. What are you writing down? Oh, Lars. Yeah. We need this here. We don't need input here. We need this here. This makes much more sense, Lars. I copied from the wrong type here, and now it wouldn't be possible to adding a store with this. It was like, oh yeah, And sometimes and also I think from my point of view we need to set in our resolver a pickup store in our mutation here, not only items, we also need to set a total count, because if we don't set it, it maybe leads to a strange behavior later, and I don't want to search for something like that. So for that reason, if it was successful, we can set, yeah, we have one item created, because currently we can only create one item by a mutation. In our current implementation, maybe in the future we can slightly different behavior, or can get slightly different behavior, but yeah, currently not. Hopefully my small music is not on the stream. Oh, no. So we have now our pickup store filter back again. So let's see how we can use it. We should now can execute this query here without error if we're doing all things correct. Oh, okay, street num, and because I using street number, a more consistent also I use here a string because you can having something like this. Oh. It is not iterable. Okay, maybe we need to wrap this thing to get a better visibility later. So we have a store is this, and our store needs to be wrapped by an array. Cool. Now we have a working mutation, and yeah, thank you so much for your time. Maybe we should do a short overview what we was writing in the tutorial. So let's do a short sum up. So I move it this now off one area up in my workshop. Override for all. So I have some classes with tag division namespace. This is not good. Plus. Yeah, if you're using PHP Storm also for work or for the same daily work and your work. Okay. So we create a new argument validator interface. This is responsible for validating our input arguments. We create a virtual type together and using the chain for query and for mutation. We adding a new create pickup store and new pickup store input type and using the same output type as for the list. And we create a new mutation here, new mutation class. We moved our pickup stores to query. We changed the fit arguments to get working in 2.4. Very important, you need to have named fields now, not numbers here. And yeah, we having now a mutation query, input query. So what needs to be do next? So some improvements for the module. Currently we don't writing any test for our inputs, and also I think we need to validating them more, but this is not really interesting. Maybe if you want to see this, you can put a comment and I will do a total TDD session on my stream. So, and next improvement is about security, because now we can creating 3000 stores without any limitation to the API, and this wouldn't be so cool if but the default implementation of GraphQL doesn't contain any security limitations, or and there is some cool article I need to share it with you on the Gyro blog about GraphQL security. It was not so long a time ago. Rate limits, rate throttling. I definitely recommend to reading this article and using the limitations here, what Jesse writing here, because now it's still possible to using a faker to generating 10,000 customers in 15 minutes. Also, this video is possible for your own written API, and this is so important. Yeah, I can recommend this module because he writes tests and he is a really cool guy, and I love his work so much. And also his blog posts are great, read them. And also if he does training on Magento, and some training, or I attend one training of him and also many conferences of him, and all things helps me in my career. And so now for today, let's close me the stream. Thank you so much for your time, and see you on the next stream. Bye. worn out.